Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all doing? I hope you're taking good care of yourself. In biology, we started with the first unit, that was plants. In the previous class, we discussed about chapter 1, that was why we need plants, right? So in today's class, we shall begin with the second chapter, that is water and minerals. You can refer to your textbook page number 88 and 89. Let us see what is the objective of today's class. The objective of today's class is to know how water and minerals are absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves. So the first question that arises is, why plants need water? What do you think? Why do plants need water? Yes, you're right. Plants need water to prepare their food, right? Plants need water because their cells use water for photosynthesis, that is, the process in which they make their own food. So, what is going to happen if a plant doesn't get enough water? Let us see. Look at the condition of this plant. What's wrong with it? The plant wilts. So if a plant doesn't get enough water, it wilts. That means its leaves and stem droop, right? Because their cells cannot support themselves. So if a plant doesn't get enough water, it is going to wilt because their cells cannot support themselves. Let's move ahead. What can you see in the picture on the screen? It's a balloon, right? But the balloons are filled with water. What about the next one? These balloons are not filled with water, right? So now you need to remember two important terms over here, that is turgid and flaccid. Just for your understanding, I have given you the example of balloons over here. So what does the term turgid mean? When a cell is filled with water, that cell is called as a turgid cell. Right? So a balloon filled with water means it is turgid. This is just an example, students. In the second case, the balloon which is not having any water, the balloon which is short of water, or you can say the cell which is short of water, it is called as a flaccid cell. Repeat again, a cell filled with water is called as turgid cell, and a cell which has shortage of water, in which there is less or no water, it is called as a flaccid cell. Let me give you another example so that you don't forget. What are these? Raisins. So what did I do? I soaked raisins in water. So what has happened to the raisin? Can you see them as a bit swollen? And what about these? These are the raisins without water. So what will you say? What is a turgid cell? A cell which has got water in it is called as a turgid cell, and a cell without any or less water is called as a flaccid cell. Look at the picture over here. The first picture is of a turgid cell and the second one is of a flaccid cell. Normally, each cell's vacuoles pushes against its cell wall. If you see the first picture and if you recall the structure of a plant cell, the blue color thing is the vacuole, right? So what is happening? The vacuole pushes against its cell wall. So this keeps the cell turgid which makes it firm and rigid. Look at the second picture. If a plant can't take in enough water, each cell's vacuole shrinks. Can you see the vacuole? Blue color. If you compare, the first one is swollen, that is filled with water, and the second one is shrunken, right, with less water. So if a plant can't take in enough water, each cell's vacuole shrinks. Then there's nothing to press the cytoplasm against the cell wall. So the cell becomes flaccid. So how are these flaccid cells? Flaccid cells are floppy, so they can't hold a plant up. Whereas turgid cell makes the plant firm and rigid. So what is the definition given for turgid? A firm, rigid cell full of water. What happens over here? Its vacuoles pushes against the cell wall. Whereas a flaccid cell is a cell that have lost water and cannot support themselves. So I hope you don't forget what is a turgid and a flaccid cell. Now remember the example of balloons and raisins. Let's move on to the second question. How do water and minerals enter and leave the plant? Right? Water is going to enter the plant and leave the plant. How? We are going to learn a new concept which is called as transpiration. What is the term? Transpiration. What is transpiration? Transpiration is the flow of water through a plant. So if you have to define transpiration, you're going to say the flow of water through a plant is called transpiration. What happens when water evaporates? It needs place to escape, right? So this water escapes through gaps called as stomata. If you remember the previous class, where is the stomata present? It is present on the undersides of the leaves, right? So what happens? Water evaporates and escapes through the gaps which are called as stomata. As stomata is open, right? We know that in the daytime the stomata is open, so water can escape. So if water is going to be escaping like this, if the plant requires water, how will it get this water? So what is happening? This plant is going to pull more water from where? From the soil, right? So who's going to help in this? The xylem. As I told you, we are going to study xylem in detail in the next chapter, right? So let us see what xylem is doing. This xylem helps the plant to pull more water. Why does the plant need to pull more water? Because as the stomata is open, water is escaping through the gaps, right? So the plant requires more water. So the xylem is helping the plant to pull water. These xylem vessels are hollow tubes. If you see the second circle on the right hand side of the picture, water pulled up through xylem, and if you see those tubes, right? So how is the structure of xylem? Xylem vessels are hollow tubes. They run through the stem, connecting the veins in the leaves, right? So what's happening? Xylem vessels, they run through the stem, connecting the veins in the leaves till the roots. So this root maintain the plant's water supply by absorbing it from the soil. So when the water is lost, xylem, which is present in the stem to the leaves, is going to pull up water through the soil and it is going to supply. Another important thing that you need to remember over here is what is the function of root hair. If you might have observed roots very closely, they have got tiny hair. So what is the function of this root hair? Root hair cells give the roots a large surface area. Why is this large surface area required? To make it easier for them to take in water from the soil. They also use some of the energy that they get from respiration to take in minerals from the soil. So just to sum up this slide, first thing that you need to know is what is transpiration. It is nothing but the flow of water through the plant. How is this water flowing? As you all know, the stomata is open during the daytime. Stomata is nothing but a pore, so the water can exit. So it is evaporating. Water is evaporating, so the plant is having a shortage of water now. So how is it going to fulfill? Who is helping him? The xylem. What is xylem? Xylem is nothing but a hollow tube. Where is it present? From the stem up till the leaves. So what is it doing? It is going to take in water from the roots. Where is the roots getting water from? The roots are taking it from the soil. How are they taking? Who is helping? The root hair cells, because they have got a high surface area. They take in water and minerals from the soil, and then the xylem takes it and supplies it to the leaves. Another simpler diagram of transpiration, if you can see, water is absorbed by the roots, then this water travels up through the plant. Who is helping him? Xylem. And then water is also lost through the stomata in transpiration. Just for your reference, this is a simple diagram of a xylem. It is a tube-like structure, right? Hollow tube. Now, this is again a picture of a stoma, a stomata. This stomata, as we all know, it can be opened and closed, and each stoma is surrounded by two specialized cells which are called as the guard cells. So as I told you, at night these leaves don't need to take carbon dioxide in for photosynthesis, right? So the stomata is closed. Can you see the second part of the picture where the stomata is closed? The hole or the pore is closed. So they can also close it during the daytime if a leaf is short of water. So what is the guard cell doing? At night it is being closed. Why? Because they do not need to photosynthesize, and if it remains open, the water may evaporate. But in daytime also, if the plant or the leaf is having a shortage of water, the stomata can close during the daytime as well, but this happens very rarely. These guard cells have specialized cell walls that make them push each other apart when they are turgid. They are turgid means they have got water in it. And when they lose water and become flaccid, the gap between them closes. So at daytime when the stomatal pore is open, that means the cell is turgid, right? It is pulling or it is pushing against the cell wall. In the second case, where the stomatal pore is closed, that means the cell is flaccid. So when they lose water and become flaccid, the gap between them closes, right? Now, I have got one interesting activity for you to understand transpiration more detail. What you need to do is, you need to take 2 polythene bags and a plant. You tie the first polythene bag around the plant, and you take the second polythene bag and you just put a knot or you tie it and keep it aside. And you keep this in sun for some time, for an hour or two maybe. Then after some time, you open polythene bag B and see what is there inside. And then you open polythene bag A and check. If you open polythene bag A, you will find water droplets, right? So where is this water droplet coming from? Because water is evaporating through the stomatal pore, right? So when the water exits the leaf, it is going to settle inside the polythene bag. So you're going to try and do this activity. Again, activity is shown over here in detail. You can refer this picture for the details. So let's have a quick overview of what did we study today. We studied why plants need water, what is going to happen to the plant if the plant loses water or it doesn't get enough water. It is going to wilt. That means the leaves and the stem are going to droop. Then we studied two important terms, turgid and flaccid. When the cell is filled with water, it is turgid. When the cell is turgid, it makes the plant or the cell firm and rigid, whereas when it is flaccid, it is lacking water and it is floppy, right? Then we also saw how water and minerals leave and enter the plant. Then we saw the concept of transpiration. Transpiration is nothing but the flow of water through a plant, right? Then we saw the function of xylem in detail. Then we also saw to control the flow of water, how does the stomata work at night time when you have to save water or photosynthesis doesn't take place, so the stomatal pore is closed, so that time the cell is flaccid. How is the stomatal pore closing? Because the cell is flaccid. But in daytime, when water is there and photosynthesis take place, the cell is turgid and the stomatal pore is open. But in daytime, when the cell lacks water or if there is a shortage of water, the pore can close at daytime also. So we saw how the stomata controls the flow of water. So that's all for today's class. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next class. Thank you, students.